Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my week 2 predictions, and hopefully I can do better than I did last week. I'm gonna put up here my prediction from last week, which was 10-6, and then throughout the year I'll just continuously show you my record throughout the weeks. So for week 2, Thursday night game, I'm going to be streaming it later on. Eagles versus Vikings. Now, last year, the Eagles absolutely dominated the Vikings. And unfortunately for the Vikings, I see it a very similar way. Vikings did not look good last week. Eagles struggled, but then again, if you really look at the Patriots, it kind of makes sense. The Patriots defense is supposed to be a top 5 unit. So I have the Eagles winning this one. I don't have it really being close, but I'm still going to stream it. So um, look for that tonight. Ravens at Bengals. I know these are usually very highly contested games, but I still believe the Bengals will win this one. I don't think the Bengals are going to start 0-2 in back-to-back years. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but in this scenario, I think the Bengals are going to win this one. I got the Seahawks at the Lions. Now, the Lions hype train is, just chug-a-lug-a-lugging along. And I honestly think that because it's at the Lions too, Ford Field's going to be rocking. I got to go with Dan Campbell. I got to go with the Lions. Lions get a W in the bout with the Seahawks. Now, Colts at Texans. I was very torn on this one. But at the end of the day, I thought that the Texans, I feel like, have a better defense than the Colts. Only slightly better. Even with both having promising young QBs, I feel like the Texans will win this one. Be a close one, but I have the Texans pulling this one out. Now we have the Bears at the Bucks. Now, of course, I told you I did not really trust the Bears to beat the Packers last week, and it definitely showed. But in this bout, I actually have the Bears beating the Bucks. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but the Bucks definitely benefited from the Vikings turning the ball over a lot. Not saying the Bears won't, but maybe it won't be as bad because, like I said, the Vikings literally just screwed themselves over last week. So I got the Bears winning this one. Next, we got the Chiefs at the Jaguars. This is going to be a tough game, and I was like going back and forth. But at the end of the day, I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes, and I had to go with the Chiefs. I'm not gonna be surprised if the Jags win. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a close game. Like probably maybe not as high scoring as the Dolphins Chargers game, like I thought it was last week, but I do expect it to be a higher scoring game, like high 20s range, and be very close, like about like a field goal, basically 3 points difference. Now we have the Packers at the Falcons. Um, I think you could see at the game that the Falcons do not trust Desmond Ritter just yet. And maybe they show it this week, but I really don't see it happening. I really got the Packers winning this one because with last week's game, as a Panthers fan, we gave the ball over 3 times and you score 17 points off of those 3 turnovers. So you capitalize on our mistakes. However, Desmond Ritter looked very pedestrian. Your run game looks good, but I still have no faith in Desmond Ritter, so I'm still going to go with the Packers on this one. Next, we have the Raiders at the Bills. I feel like the Bills are going to bounce back. I'm just going to be keeping it very short and simple on this one, but I got the Bills winning this one. Home field. The Raiders, I don't really trust the Raiders that much, to be honest. Just something about the Raiders against the Broncos. I should have predicted it, but I didn't. But like I said, I got the Bills bouncing back in this one. Chargers at Titans. Chargers are going to win this one. I feel pretty confident in that one. Titans defense is good, and that's not really a surprise to me. But it's just their offense. Their offense is so bad. It's so bad, and I hate it for y'all. I really do. But I think the Chargers got too many more weapons, and they're going to score more points than y'all. I mean, that's basically the name of the game, but that's kind of how I see it happening. Um, 49ers at Rams. For some reason or another, Kyle Shanahan has always had Sean McVay's number. Um, and also, I don't want to say it was kind of a surprise win for me for the Rams because I didn't really know who you had. I mean, I knew Puka Nakua. I didn't know he was going to be, coming out the gate being pretty good. Um, but like I said, I think the 49ers are just way more talented than the Rams. And so I feel like the 49ers get a dub here. Giants at Cardinals. Giants, y'all gotta win this one. I don't think there's out of all the games I have in week 2, this is the one where I'm like, this is a must win because if you're a Giants fan and you just went off of a 40-0 loss and then you lose to the Cardinals, uh, yeah, no, people are not going to be happy. So the Giants definitely have to win this one, and I have them win this one. Um, Jets at Cowboys. So even before Aaron Rodgers got hurt, I predicted the Jets wouldn't beat the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys was going to have a really good defense. They showed it last week, and I felt like the time the Cowboys are finally going to get the better of Aaron Rodgers. But now that he's not playing, I still don't really. I think Zach Wilson will do enough that they can still make the playoffs. Maybe not 12-5 like I predicted, but I still think they can do well. But the Cowboys' defense is just really, really good, and that's the reason why the Cowboys winning. Um, I need their offense to show a little bit more, but because they didn't really have to show anything in the first game, so I need them to show a little bit more. Um, the Commanders at the Broncos. The Commanders are a very interesting team for me because I didn't like their offensive line to begin with, and it definitely showed in last game. And you have some weapons. I like your defense, but I think the Broncos are going to win this one. I think the Broncos are going to be able to bounce back. I think they're finally going to be able to get some pressure because they did not get any pressure on Jimmy G. And I feel like the Broncos in home field advantage also they're going to win to get the first win in the Sean Payton era at the Broncos. Now, Dolphins at Patriots. This one was a very hard game for me to predict because, on one hand, the Dolphins' offense is very, very explosive. And on the other hand, the Patriots' defense is very, very locked down, very, very much like you got to gain every single yard. I feel like what's going to come down to is the Dolphins' defense against the Patriots' offense, because both of those are the weak links of both those teams, and I feel like the Dolphins have the edge there. So that's the reason why I had the Dolphins winning this one. Very close game. Um, I'm hoping that Tua and Tyreek still have magical connection because they're on my fantasy team. But like I said, I feel like the Dolphins are going to pull this one out. Now for the 2 Monday night games. So I will be streaming the Saints at Panthers game, of course, because I'm a Panthers fan, and I have both games being very close. I don't feel like this is going to be like some embarrassing kind of game. For the Saints at the Panthers, I feel like having home field advantage is definitely going to be beneficial in both of these games. So for the Saints at Panthers, I have the Panthers winning 20-17. I feel like there might be some movement of the ball, but I feel like it's going to be very much bend, don't break kind of defenses. And so I have 20-17 Panthers win. And then for the Browns at the Steelers, I feel like the Steelers are going to bounce back mainly because they've been a very resilient team in the past. It sucks that Cam Hayward is on IR, but I feel I feel like with Benton being there, Benton is definitely going to be like that Hayward type, and I love Keanu Benton coming out. So I feel like they're still going to have like miss a step a little bit, but I also do not trust Deshaun Watson. As much as the Browns beat the Bengals, it was very much due to the fact that the Browns have a good defense and the Bengals cannot run the ball. That's basically how it was. So I feel like it's going to be a very close game and a very low scoring game. So I have the Steelers winning 17-13. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be a very low scoring affair, and I feel like the Steelers are going to pull it out. So those are my predictions for this week. Let me know what you think in the comments. Uh, hopefully, I did better than I did last week. Last week I was 10-6, so not too shabby for week one, but can always do better. So see you in the next video.